It seems to be working. It seems to be working. I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. Took me a while. Took me a fucking while, but I figured it out. But yeah, I'm doing this. I'm not going to be on for very long, chat. So if you're hanging out with me, I very much appreciate it because it is a Sunday, and most people like to just relax and just stay off of social media. I do, personally. But I wanted to test this out before I actually did the gaming streams beginning tomorrow. Now, what I might need is a chat bitch because I know Gravy sent a super chat um, for the gaming streams because the super chat's not showing up through OBS. And I'll read it out loud for you, Gravy, to make you friggin' happy. It says, testes, 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Gravy. So, yeah. Like I said, I wanted to do this as, like, a little stream as a test because, appreciate it, Trey. I'll let you know once I know for sure when I'm going to, I'm hoping no later than 7:30 p.m. my time. I'm hoping a bit earlier than that, but I won't know for sure until I'm able to set the stream up tomorrow and have a gauge of, like, what's going on, pretty much. But hoping no later than 7:30 p.m. Eastern, basically my time, tomorrow. Like I said, because, like, for some reason because I'm looking at the OBS and I see Gravy saying the comment we live through Twitch, and then Trey saying, yeah, working on YouTube totally works, and it's after Gravy's super chat's not showing up. So I don't I don't know what's going on, but there it is. Anyway, chat. But welcome. So Mr. Bentham's on Twitch, Gravy and Trey and Gravy, Trey. I know you're on Kick and Twitch. Soul Assassin, I see you. Calix, what is up? Good to see you. I'm not really going to go too much into these articles because I will be covering a chunk of these tonight on Talk Nerdy to Us. So I'm not gonna like bring this up. I just want to show you that this has basically sent me not exactly down the rabbit hole, basically, but started on. Well, let's see what people are saying. But I don't know if you're saying you tried and it's not letting you, Mr. Bentham. Because if you're doing it through the phone app, it's really like you had to really work around the super chat thing for it to let you do it, because it's done that to me before. But if I go on the PC side for some reason, it's like, okay. Appreciate it, Trey. Appreciate it. But this kind of like started me on, what are people's reactions to Superman, the new Superman movie? Now I'm going to preface this, like, my before I go into the articles. Testies here, yeah. I would read it. But like, now I have made no, I've not lied or at all denied anything, that I have no hope for this movie. I've been if anything, honest about my feelings with this movie. Nothing about the trailers has sold me. If anything, it's they've turned me off from seeing this movie, especially in the theaters. I'm going to be watching it, a special Jack Sparrow version. Watching a special Jack Sparrow copy that he's going to send me. That's the way I'm going to be watching it. But like I said, the trailers were not selling me. The clips definitely are not selling me. I still think the suit is very ill-fitting. Does David Cornsweet look like the Man of Steel? Yeah, I can say he does look like the man. I could picture him as the Man of Steel pretty much. Now, will his performance sell me? Well, that remains to be seen. But appearance-wise, he sells me. Watching another screening Superman Tuesday, yeah. I'm not watching until like I said, the Jack Sparrow copy is available to watch. So needs more Hulk Hogan, yeah. Yeah, now James. See, that's the thing. I think Mike. I think you tagged me in something where James Gunn is calling him an immigrant, and I'm like, first off, he's not an immigrant because from what I remember, when his parents basically put him in the little rocket on Krypton and shot him into space. That's they might have set a course for Earth basically, but pretty much it's where he landed was anybody's fucking guess at that point. So he's not exactly, to call him an immigrant would mean he he consciously chose himself to travel from Krypton to Earth, and he was just a baby when that happened, because Krypton was basically being sucked into this black hole, and so where the Krypton was being totally destroyed. There was like no way anybody on that planet was going to survive. So his parents, his father Jor-El, so forth, put him in that little rocket, and sent him off the planet for in the hopes that at least one of their kind would survive, basically. So it's like that's how he ended up on Earth. It's not because he consciously himself chose to come to Earth. And no, I haven't seen the movie Jor-El. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to be waiting until the Jack Sparrow copies, like I said. Yeah, space refugee. He's pretty much a space refugee. Technically, you could say illegal alien because he didn't exactly go through customs, and he is an alien species, basically. But he did not himself immigrate from the planet, so to call him an immigrant, it doesn't make any sense. And he could have landed on any planet. He could have landed on any planet at that point, basically. It just happened to be Earth, and just happened to be in Kansas, in Smallville, basically. So it's because there's even a Red Sun comic, comic line where it's hey, what if Superman landed in the Soviet Union, basically? How would that have shaped his ideals if he had landed there instead of the United States? So I'm saying he's more of a refugee than anything. He's not an immigrant, basically. It's very I think they're throwing that term around very fucking loosely right now, especially with this character. All right, he's a refugee because his parents sent him there. Basically, that's it. Yeah, and once they send him there, I mean they sent him off Krypton because the planet was dying. There was no way anyone could have survived if you'd stayed on Krypton. There's no way. So yeah. But like I said, I'm not going to open up this one. It does go into the plot. Now. You see, I'm not nothing against Robert Meyer Burnett or anything like that, saying that it's I don't know if I believe this review good or bad. It doesn't plot recap which can be gleaned from clips, which is true, but at the same time, he's no mention of Maxwell Lord and everything like that. But anyone who's read reviews, know it's a review, not a synopsis, basically. So yeah, I read this review, and yeah, it was semi kind of a synopsis because it's going through the beats of the movie, but at the same time, it's leaving out a lot more, I'm imagining, from the movie than was in the review. So yeah, it might not mention every fucking thing that's happening in the film, basically. So it's whether I agree with the critic or not, again, I can't say I do because I have not watched the movie, is that point is entirely moot. No, Pedro is not in this, basically, but the character Maxwell Lord is, basically. This movie, one of the things I have an issue with this film is it feels so bloated with characters. Rather than WB did not fucking learn its lesson from the Snyderverse, basically, and what they did with Zack Snyder's films and so forth. They wanted to play immediate catch up with Marvel, and rather than take the time to do separate origin plot movies for each of the characters they're going to introduce, namely, well, we didn't necessarily need an origin story, basically, but a solo movie like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, and so forth. Rather than do that and stretch it out, actually give people time to connect to the characters and so forth, they just basically threw the bunch of spaghetti against the proverbial wall and said, I hope to God it fucking sticks. And we all know what happened. WB, even under Zaslav, is not fucking learning its lesson. Alright? Stop with the bloating, basically, of the plot. We don't need all these characters. We don't need Maxwell Lord. We do not need Hawkgirl. We do not need Supergirl. We do not need Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. We just need Superman and Lex. Maybe throw in a couple cronies for Lex that Superman has to deal with that are kind of on par with his strength and everything like that. But that's all. That's fucking all we need. It's a Superman movie. You want to build this universe up? Start with the main focus, which should be Superman. Why the fuck are you including Brainiac, Mr. Terrific, like I said, Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, that Kaiju? Why? And everything. we don't really, Crypto. I can take or leave. I love dogs. I think Crypto's a really cute dog in the movie, and I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be like, aw, aw, I love Crypto. I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna pretend any other way. I'm fully gonna be like, oh, because I love dogs. But do we need Crypto? No. We could take him or leave him. We could take him or leave him. Basically, we just need Superman and Lex. We just need Superman and Lex. And I can't remember if it was in this review or another one. Basically, like one of the things that, like, again, like, I guess when I say slightest spoiler, I mean like it's more of the chemistry between the actor who plays Superman and the actress who plays Lois Lane, and that is like there's little to no chemistry. Which is like, yeah, that's totally what we want to fucking see between Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Basically, little to no chemistry. Or at the very least, it's put on the back burner, basically, to the point where it's like we have to, like, basically buy the fact that they get together because it happens in the comics versus having it happen organically play out on screen. So, but anyway, I'm not gonna go into this. It does hit plot beats, so anyone who doesn't want spoilers, I'm not going to touch on this article. I did bookmark it, so if anybody wants me, wants it's this guy here, the Jeff Snyder, the Insider. He's the one who posted it. I saw this through another account, who retweeted it, or quote tweeted it, I should say. Yeah, like Metamorpho. Like, why the fuck is Metamorpho in it? Like, why? Anyway, I'm not, like I said, this goes into plot beats, and if you don't want spoilers, I'm not going to touch on this. But this one here says, so I basically, it's like, you know what, and I get tagged and stuff, and let's say, let's look into this. Let's look into this, all right? So Superman Meltdown, basically. So Blue Sky critic fights back against viral leaked review. Now, there is an embargo still in place for reviews. Now, like, just because these reviews are leaked, or were leaked or were posted early, does not necessarily delegitimize them, basically. But yeah, I'm not sure what Warner Bros. Is going to do because, like I said, there is an embargo still in place until the 8th. Until the 8th. But one of the things, I'm going to go back to this. One of the things that I've seen from people upset about these reviews coming out is the fact that in that one, like the one I just previously showed, and that is that David Cornsweet is being compared to Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeve. So, now, do I think that each iteration's performance should stand on its own? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because, you're judging the performance in that, whatever the movie or series is. Alright, thank you for the blurb. I don't think it's going to play gravy, but appreciate it. I think I had to re-add the blurps to my OBS. Because I have alert boxes and so forth, but not for blurps. I have to figure out how to re-add those. But appreciate it. Well, Jurassic World's most likely winning in July, basically. So, yeah, so, basically people were upset in that particular review that this actor was compared to a couple other iterations previously. Alright, namely Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeve. I'm going to reiterate, I believe his performance should stand on his own. He is playing the Man of Steel. Let's judge his performance as is in the new Superman movie. However, I'm not going to stand here and pretend, sit here and pretend that there's no way that he's not going to be compared and contrasted to other actors who have donned the blue suit before, basically. I'm pretty sure that when Christopher Reeve was cast in the 1978 Superman film, that he was compared to George Reeves, who was a Superman in, the 1950s series. I'm pretty fucking sure when, what's his name? Chad, help me out here. I'm blanking. Who played, hello, Citizen Ronan. Who played, Superman, Clark Kent, in Smallville, the show? But, Dean Cain and Superman, the Avengers of Lois and Clark, I'm sure he was compared to Christopher Reeve when he donned the blue suit and the red cape. Same with Brandon Routh. No, I'm not Dean Cain. I'm talking about the Smallville show, basically, with, Michael Rosenbaum, who plays Lex Luthor and so forth, was, basically a high school Clark Kent. That show. I'm blanking on his name. He would be a good No, not Tyler Hoechlin. Smallville, not the current show. Oh, Tom Welling. Thank you, Mike. Tom Welling. It's like you, Trey. I love you. You were dancing around every other one. But Tom Welling, I'm sure when he was cast as young Clark Kent, he was compared to, like what came before him, Christopher Reeve and Dean Cain, even like. Same with Brandon Routh. He's been like, I'm sure he was compared when he donned the suits to the other iterations before him. Henry Cavill, I know, would have been compared to, especially to Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve seems to be basically the epitome of comparisons whenever anyone else plays Superman. Oh, shut up, Gravy. Even the Tyler Hoechlin, or however his last name is pronounced, I don't want to butcher it. But I'm sure he would be basically compared to everything. You're going to, it's human nature to compare another iteration to what came before, because those previous iterations laid the foundations for our perception for this new one, basically. So the new one would have to meet the standards of the foundation set before it. So yeah, he's going to be fucking compared to the other ones. Hey, Gaming or What? Good to see you on Kick. So, people who are upset that the previous review was comparing David Corenswet to Henry Cavill and Christopher Reeve, where the fuck were you? Ben Affleck was when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, people were comparing him to, the performances of Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and so forth. He was being compared to other iterations of Batman, basically. Yeah, I'm saying. I pointed out, Soul Assassin, that I'm sure Christopher Reeves was compared to George Reeves, because George Reeves played Superman in the serial. So that was the initial foundation. So when Christopher Reeve was cast as Superman, people had that perception of George Reeves as Superman in their heads. They grew up with that serial. So every character, especially if you're talking about comic book characters with the superhero movies, with the exception of the little known characters that most people do not know, the big characters especially, yeah, there's going to be those foundations played before. When Gal Gadot, say what you will about her acting, I'm not talking about her acting, but when she was cast as Wonder Woman, I'm pretty sure people compared her to Linda Carter. I'm gonna call him David Cornholio, yeah. Yeah, Holland is compared to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Hail, hail, the Lord. Good to see you. Welcome. But I might go into this article just a little bit. I do have this one, but I can cover this when for Talk Nerdy tonight, when I talk with Steph, basically. So to get her perspective on it. But basically, so this Blue Sky critic fights back against a viral leaked review. So the leaked Superman review, I did not bring it up, so I'm not gonna, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Just blew the lid off the internet with reactions hitting early ahead of Warner Brothers embargo on July 8th. Basically, members of the press who attend free screenings held by Warner Brothers are only allowed to share the reactions and reviews once Warner Brothers gives the green light. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly how these press screenings or movie review embargoes work, because I've never been offered one. Universal did just ask me to take down my first Jurassic World Rebirth review, even though I wasn't invited to a press screening or under embargo. For the record, I didn't take it down, I paid to see the movie myself. That said, I've agreed to plenty of embargoes for press releases over the years. The way it works is simple, blah blah blah, basically. So, regarding James Gunn's Superman, what happened is that the Daily Beast posted the review early, which slammed the flick, to say the least. Even Variety then mentioned Superman in their review for the new John Cena movie Heads of State, which wasn't good, but guess what? Yep, we caught them. Variety edited their article to remove mention of Superman. Too late, we have the screenshots. I also had the Variety article up, basically just in case. Which included the reference to Superman, basically. And I can show you guys that real fast. Back to the Daily Beast review. Following that going viral online, and believe me, it went viral along with what Variety posted, now a critic for the website Uprocks broke his embargo and posted on the woke social media site Blue Sky that he couldn't disagree more with what the Daily Beast had said. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but that leaked review, good God, I couldn't disagree more, posted the critic. Well, yep, you write for Uprocks, basically. So, there's that. there's that. I'm just saying. Oh my god, I didn't see this update. The critic added in another post and compared Gun Superman to Top Gun Maverick. What the shit? Just from the trailers alone, I'm like, what? What are you smoking? Hey, Julie, what did you watch? What did you watch? It makes no sense. So, seems I'm already in enough trouble, but whatever this mystery movie is, it's the happiest I've walked out of a movie since Top Gun Maverick. Again, I'll never reveal the movie I'm talking about, he posted. Yeah. And so he's posting it on Blue Sky. So the fact that you write for Uprocks and then posted it on Blue Sky, yeah. Alright. The Daily Beast variety in Uprocks' reactions fits with what we first posted from that WB Insider's own review, that fans will either love or hate James Gunn's Superman. When you have a movie come out when it's at either end of the spectrum, that's not good. That's not good. It's bad it's just as bad if it's firmly in the center, meaning you can take it or leave it. But you would hope that there's no either love or hate for the movie, basically. I think that the polar opposite ends of the spectrum, that mentality is just as bad as, yeah, it's right in the middle. The Insider basically said fans of the Zack Snyder DCEU will hate Gunn's Superman movie. Not necessarily. Not fucking necessarily, because I liked the tone set by Zack Snyder's movies. Like I said, love his movies or hate, if you like his movies, fine. If you don't like them, fine. I like the tone from Zack Snyder's DCEU. It felt more tonally like DC watching the movies. Now, whether or not oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that showed up. Thank you so much. And so for the holy 50 super chat. Thank you so much. That showed up. But so I might still need you, Trey, as a chat bitch, but very much appreciate it, Ian. Thank you. I'm doing this as a test stream because moving forward, beginning tomorrow for gaming streams, I will be going live on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube playing Silent Hill 2. So welcome everyone, Wiley Dave. I see you. Appreciate it. But as I was saying, like Zack Snyder's movies or not, more power to you. It doesn't affect my life. I'm not going to lose sleep. I'm not going to lose sleep over what someone else thinks about movies I might or might not like, basically. But tonally, I like them because they felt more like DC's tone. Because DC is totally different from Marvel. Let's be honest. It's totally different from Marvel, basically. And what didn't work in DC's favor, or at least for the DCEU, is when Warner Brothers tried to make it like Marvel with Whedon's with Justice League. Basically, it did not work. It did not work. Hey, Jam. So, and so forth. But that being said, just because I appreciated Zack Snyder's tones within his movie, and I did like his version of Justice League, basically. I didn't exactly love it, necessarily, but I liked it. That being said, just because of that does not mean that I'm going to automatically hate Gunn's Superman movie. I'm judging based off what I'm seeing from the trailers and the clips and so forth, and I'm getting this really bad vibe coming from what I'm seeing and telling me, my gut is pretty right, it's been pretty fucking right about a lot of stuff, that this is, I'm not going to like this movie, and it has nothing fucking whatsoever to do with any comparison to Zack Snyder's movies. I'm just looking at it from what Gunn has put out, and I'm not liking it. And, to be fair, yeah, to Man of Steel, whether you like it or not, it wasn't setting up any shit, it was just a Superman movie. It did not set it up with all these other characters and so forth, because that's what I'm feeling, is they're throwing in all these other characters because they're getting people excited for the possibility of like another Green Lantern movie or a Hawk Girl movie and so forth. I don't want to get excited necessarily for the future movies. I want to get excited about this current movie. And if I love this current movie, then whatever you put out later on, that hype I had for this movie will, basically transcend to any hype I might have for future movies. But when you basically just make this movie so convoluted and bloated with all these characters I couldn't give two shits about because they're barely going to be in it. All I want to watch is Superman and Lex. You're going to turn me off. That's what turns me off. Not the fact, Gunn is another aspect that turns me off. Alright? And as much as I despise that man, personally, basically despise that man, if he puts out a good movie, I'll admit it. I enjoyed his first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, basically. Was he comic book accurate? Fuck no. But I enjoyed his Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but he proved to be a one-trick pony since then. He's gotten nothing right. He's gotten virtually nothing fucking right when it comes to comic book adaptations. And yet people want to give him a pass. They want to throw Zack Snyder into the, basically into the hole and bury him, but they'll give James Gunn a pass. Exactly, Hail the Lore. That's why I said, I just want this movie to be a Superman movie. If it's a good Superman movie, that's all I fucking want. Whether it's James Gunn or Zack Snyder, that's all I want. I prefer Superman, or I prefer Batman, but I'll take a Superman movie. Alright? And me saying I don't think it's going to be good is not me going in automatically wanting to hate it. I just have this gut feeling that I'm not going to like it. I want to be proven wrong, and I was proven wrong with Megan 2. I enjoyed Megan 2. The trailers did a disservice in my opinion. I enjoyed Megan 2. Was it great? No, but I enjoyed it. Alright? I like to be proven wrong. I like to walk out of the theater or after watching a movie going, you know what? I was wrong. This movie was actually fucking good. The Omen prequel. Did we need an Omen prequel? Thank you, Trey. Did we need an Omen prequel? No. But it worked. And it was a good movie. But do we need it? No. Do we need it? No, but I enjoyed it. But Gunn has gotten virtually nothing fucking right when it comes to comic book adaptations, yet he's given a pass for some fucking reason. Well, basically, Zack Snyder, say what you will about him, alright? Just gets raked over the coals by people. So, that's what I'm saying, I don't know what it is about comic book fans or superhero movie fans in general, basically. Why one gets a pass and the other one doesn't. When the one who gets a pass has repeatedly demonstrated a lack of knowledge and a blatancy to add his interpretation, his own personal interpretation into the fucking movies with the characters and so forth, basically. Starro was a fucking joke in Suicide Squad, basically. The Suicide Squad movie was shit, in my opinion. Got none of the characters right. None of the fucking characters right. Well, hello, Psychotic Mongoose. Good to see you all. I'm not going to be on for much longer. This was a test stream. This was going to be just a short test stream to make sure that it streamed to both to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Moving forward for gaming streams, basically. But anyway, the Insider basically said fans of the Zack Snyder DCEU will hate Gunn's Superman movie. That comic book fans will love Gunn's Superman movie. Why? And that the normie audience may be completely lost as it could come across as too goofy. See, that's the thing. Most people going into this movie, they're going to be normies. They're going to be normies. Which is why I say this. Which is why, what you're actually testing. Hey, Biggles, I'm testing to make sure that it streams on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, basically. I figured it out through OBS, basically. And yes, Gunn fucking sucks, basically. But this is why you want to, when I say KISS, the acronym KISS, for the first movie, in any series you plan to do, the first movie needs to be Keep It Simple Stupid. And that's the reason fucking why, right there. Normie audience may be completely lost as it could come across as too goofy when you make it so convoluted and bloated and just overridden with characters that, in the grand scheme of things, will ultimately amount to nothing in terms of the plot for the movie. you're going to turn off normal audiences. Because they're going to be like, what the fuck? Hardcore comic book fans might, get boners in the theater because a certain character, pops up here and there that they know and love from the comic books. But when you turn off normies, you're going to have a fucking problem. Alright. I tweeted that I think Gunn is trying to recapture his MCU audience from Guardians of the Galaxy, which was goofy as fuck, yet a big success. And the reason why it was a big success is because if you actually... hey, bot on Kick. And the reason why it was a big success, because if anyone knows has an idea of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Mongol, yeah, who's supposed to be on par in terms of powers and abilities as Superman, just dies in a helicopter, really? Like I said, he got none of the fucking characters right. Guardians of the Galaxy was probably D tier at best comics. Not many people know Guardians of the Galaxy, especially not in comparison to other comic book lines like Captain America, Spider-Man, definitely. Basically, Spider-Man is basically the face of Marvel, and so forth. So, most people going in to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movie were normies. The vast majority going in were normies, and that's why it's a big success. But because hardly anyone, I would hazard to bet, knew anything about the actual Guardians of the Galaxy comic books. That being said, Suicide Squad, as Trey pointed out, they are not the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Suicide Squad is filled with criminals who are pretty much thrown together and forced to go on certain missions because if they were to at all try to go AWOL, they'd explode, basically, because they have chips in their back of their heads, the back of their base of their skulls, basically, that if they decide to try to run away, they will die. They are not characters that you're supposed to relate to, basically. You can like them. I like King Shark and so forth. But you're not supposed to relate to them. Or anything like that. Yeah. Not like they fucked up Expendables. But they're villains. They are villains. Yeah. Works better with lesser known characters? Maybe. Like I said, because most people do not know Guardians of the Galaxy. I sure as hell didn't know that comic book line. I was like, there's a thing called Guardians of the Galaxy in Marvel? And that's why it was enjoyable, because most people didn't know. Move on to the second film in the Guardians movies, and I thought the only good scenes in that film were the scenes with Rocket and Yondu. And Little Groot. But those are the only good scenes in the movie. I couldn't care less. As much as I love Kurt Russell, I couldn't care less about Ego, which I think James Gunn got that character wrong. And so forth. And I didn't even bother with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because, like I said, Gunn was proving to be a one-trick pony for me at that point. Like, no variety at all. Yeah. However, fans and normies are already familiar with Superman, while they didn't know jack about the Guardians. We actually got our start helping Marvel promote the Guardians of the Galaxy comics before Gunn got involved with the movies. I saw it all playing out as is now, years ago. Whether that is a bad or good thing isn't up to me. I see Superman on Tuesday. It's up to the fans who go see Gunn's Man of Steel. New Man of Steel. I also said Gunn's Superman is his to lose this summer, as 20 years later, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, and there isn't much hype for Fantastic Four, are all bombs. I don't think Jurassic World Rebirth necessarily would be a bomb. F1 probably only because most people aren't going to go see a movie about Formula 1 racing. 20 years later, probably not everyone's cup of tea. Fantastic Four, no fucking hype whatsoever. So big question is, can Gunn come through? It actually seems not only is the future of DC riding on Gunn, but quite possibly the entire superhero genre. The MCU has been in a big downfall post-Endgame, and Sony has reportedly canceled their Spider-Man spin-off universe. Oh, shocker there. Will fans win, or Gunn's ego? So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not planning on seeing this movie in theaters. full on admitting that. Full on admitting that. I'm not planning on seeing this in theaters. So, yeah, I'd probably see, like, Jurassic World Rebirth like, doing well overall. When I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it will be as a financial success, but I will say I don't think it's going to be a bomb. Because regardless of the plot, people go to see the dinosaurs. They want to see the dinosaurs, the Mosasaurus, the Titanosaurus, the Quetzalcoatlus, even the T-Rex, as short as, like, its time is in the movie. They want to see the dinosaurs. And dinosaurs look really cool on the big screen. So yeah, there it is. And Jurassic World Rebirth has the Jurassic Park movies as well as the Jurassic World movies riding behind it. So it can ride off, like, the people's feelings for those movies. Anyway, but that's all I'm going to cover. I do have this article to cover later and so forth for the Talk Nerdy to Us. So I'm not going to go into everything I have today, and I will be, I see Halo Lore, I'm going to be going into this possibly on Talk Nerdy to Us as well, because this deserves to be raked over the coals. This deserves to be raked over the coals, and I'm going to be ripping in a new one later on this evening. So yeah, but I do have other articles that I'll be covering later on this evening, about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, so a little less, under 4.5 hours. Actually, no, a little over 4 hours. I can't tell time today. To go until Talk Nerdy to Us. I will send a message to Steph to remind her it's on my channel. And we'll go for there. But thank you, those who sent super chats, those who are hanging out with me this Sunday. I'm doing this stream to make sure that I figured out OBS with the triple streaming, because moving forward, beginning Monday, and I have a thumbnail that's Punch Freaking Lightning made for me, which I will share with you all when I make the tweet tomorrow, when I'm going to be going live for Silent Hill 2, is moving forward with gaming streams. I wanted to triple stream. So basically, not just on Kick and Twitch, but to include YouTube moving forward, so that way I wasn't only streaming on YouTube a couple times or so a week, basically. So I wanted to add more of the YouTube side, because I think more people watch it over there, stuff, than on the other sites. So, but there it is, chat. Thank you very much again for hanging out with me. Tomorrow, I'm hoping no later than 7:30 p.m. Eastern, thereabouts, I will be playing Silent Hill 2. I have not played any of the Silent Hill games previous, so I have not played the original Silent Hill 1 or the original Silent Hill 2. So this is basically me jumping into the deep end with these games, and I want to get Silent Hill 2 played because Silent Hill F will be dropping on September 25th of this year. So hope you enjoy the replay, Freddy. I did not tweet out I was live because I wasn't even sure it was going to be a success. It is going fine. Tara is streaming on YouTube, on Kick, and Twitch, so it seems to be working. It seems to be working. The key with this will basically be me making sure that I am available to stream at the time that I set up my YouTube stream. Because with Kick and Twitch, I can hit go live and just stream. YouTube, you have to create something on the back end of the YouTube side live before it works on OBS. So there's that. So that's basically the clincher in this case. But thank you, everyone. So hope you all, if you join in late, hope you all enjoyed the replay with my thoughts on the new Superman movie coming out this coming Friday. And hope to see you all for Talk Nerdy to Us, a little over 4 hours away on my channel, this channel, with my nerdy home. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm doing it through Restream, Freddy. So doing it through Restream, but to do it through Restream via YouTube, especially going to Kick and Twitch, I have to create the stream on the YouTube end. So that way it shows up on OBS, and that way when I hit go, start streaming through Restream, it, goes through all three, basically. But anyway, take care. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Peace.